I find the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Thomas Jefferson. Let's jump into these charts. Two big things for you to watch on Friday. S&P 500 weekly vertical crossover setting up, appears to be heading down. On Bitcoin also, weekly vertical crossover may be setting up to be going down. Means not a time to be buying Bitcoin in your practice trades, and might be a good time to be shorting the S&P 500. Also, Patreon members, we have already posted at the Patreon site for chartingwealth.com your 20 weekly vertical crossovers for the week. Get this, 17 are down. We could only find 3 that were even worth mentioning going up. I think there were only 4 in the entire S&P 500 going up. One of them was worthless. So that's where we are. Let's jump into these charts. S&P 500, lots of downward pressure. Weekly vertical crossover appears to be setting up. Would like to see that derivative oscillator crossing over, going down at the same time. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening. What about the 2-day? Well, the latest 2-day candle close. Look at that big wick on the bottom. Price percent oscillator spiking down. Derivative oscillator heading down, down below that 2-day trend line. Lots of downward pressure. We look at the half-day chart. We can see where things were pounding down in the morning. Did bounce up some in the afternoon. Overall, the S&P up for the day 1.53%. Let's see how things look at the close of the day tomorrow for a potential weekly vertical crossover going down. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100, also rebounding a little bit, up 0.72%, but overall a down week. No weekly vertical crossover yet, but close. We'll see if there's a big down day tomorrow. You could have one there. Also, we look at the 2-day. Price percent oscillator spiking down, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. A red spinning top below the 2-day trend line. Lots of movement down and up. So we'll keep an eye on the NASDAQ 100. You can see it was down in the morning, recovered some in the afternoon. Nonetheless, that price percent oscillator and derivative oscillator heading down. Let's go to 20-year bonds. Look at the upward pressure there. We had that crossover back on the week ending the 12th of November, so about mid-November. And then what did it do? It slid sideways for the next 2 weeks and then took off this week. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum, price percent oscillator heading up. What about the 2-day? Spiking up quite nicely, reaching a higher high. Again, looking quite nice with that price percent oscillator, just solid line over the last 3 2-day candles heading up, along with that derivative oscillator. Looks sweet. We'll check out the half day. We can see we're really a booming in the morning, losing some of that in the afternoon, but nonetheless heading right up that half-day trend line. Derivative oscillator losing some momentum, but that price percent oscillator heading up. On our Big Four, let's go to gold. Our only downer in the Big Four, down 0.55%. Lots of downward pressure on gold. We look at that price percent oscillator, and of course it is heading down. Hasn't crossed over though. And we see the derivative oscillator still green, but losing momentum. 2 weeks of strong down movement in gold. Of course, we had that 2-day crossover going down in gold. A big red down candle, enough energy to cross over on the 2-day, back ending Wednesday, the 24th of November, just before Thanksgiving. And since then, we continue to see down movement on those 2-day candles. Half day, we can see where gold sort of pounded down and then slid sideways for a while and then slowly is broken down even further. Although that price percent oscillator is flat and derivative oscillator continues to lose downward momentum. So again, that's also our smallest chart. The real weight still pushing down on the weekly and the 2-day. I'd love for gold to recover. It's got a lot of pressure going down on it. Now, let's look at Bitcoin. The big downer for the day, 3.71%. And check it out, friends, getting very close to a weekly vertical crossover going down after 3 weeks of down movement in Bitcoin. That might be happening. Of course, the 2-day already crossed over, going down back on the 16th of November. The last few days, we've seen it sort of bottom out and slide sideways, although, like we said, really hammering down over the course of the day on Thursday. You can see where tried to recover and then as it's rolling back over. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin tomorrow and the S&P for potential weekly vertical crossovers going down. Don't forget, Patreon friends, check out your email. It'll be coming out to you soon. You can also look at the Patreon Charting Wealth page, and you will see similarly posted. We'll have that information for you on the 20 weekly vertical crossovers. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.